Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. And after months of not uploading, I got an editor, a possible upload schedule, and a new video series. This series is going to be my fictional world of Rune. And for this first video, I'll be explaining how the world came to be, and later on, I will start a series on the actual universe explaining some major events in chronological order and reading journal entries from some people around the universe. So this universe actually began back in 2017. I was trying to write a book, and this world was originally in a fictional universe where there was 5 main characters who were some sort of ninjas. Don't ask, I was in 7th grade. And I created the continent of Sanix, which shows up later in the timeline of Rune. The story was that these 5 people wanted to overthrow the government, and originally these characters were actually based on real people, specifically some friends and enemies, and these ninja went around the country destroying every city until they overthrew the government. The story was okay, just lacking in detail, conflict, drama, and was only about 12 pages long. This was actually one of the best moments for me in 7th grade because I had fun writing the story and I had a fun English teacher that I always talked to about the book. The book ended up being shit, so I decided to rewrite it in 2018, and it was basically the same story, but I changed the characters' names from red, blue, green, pink, and yellow, yes, the colors of the Power Rangers, and gave them actual names, but the book ended up being basically the same, except for some reason, someone used magic. And at the end of the book, I have no fucking idea why. The entire planet was destroyed, and the 5 main characters were on a small deserted island, living under the ground. And then one of the aliens who destroyed the planet, yes, an alien in a time of ninjas, killed one of the characters for literally no reason. And then all the characters tried to kill the alien, but they all ended up dying. And thus concludes the book Revenage Attack. And even with the title, I have no idea what was going through my young middle schooler mind. After that, I had ideas for 2 more books so I could make a trilogy. And since these books went absolutely fucking everywhere, I can talk about it without having any spoilers. So the second book was going to be a prequel about Blue, one of the main characters, and it turned out he was one of the wizards in some old wizard war that almost destroyed the world. And he was in hiding because if he told anyone, he would be killed by the government. And again, I have no idea why any of this is happening. The third book was going to be a sequel where it turned out they didn't die yet, and when they woke up, they were inside of the planet? I really don't know what type of drugs I was on, but this makes absolutely no sense. I don't know the reason for the story, and I don't know how it would end, and honestly, I'm kind of glad I don't know. Anyway, I didn't think about that book ever again. Until 2019. At this point, I was a freshman, and I decided to rewrite it with story. And there was many factions which I currently can't talk about unless you've played Rune, a text-based game, which you should absolutely play. I'm probably going to have a link in the description. This story is actually what ended up giving me the idea of an entire universe. It all started with this book, which is actually canon, and again, very, very loosely based on real people. The characters of the story are actually now based on the characters of a D&D campaign that I ran with some of my friends. About a year after starting the book, I decided to start writing origins of certain factions that showed up in the book, and I ended up writing a timeline that went from around the year -63 to around 998, which was the first version of the timeline. Then I decided to add to it in 2021 for the game I was making, and it ended up with a timeline from -1394 to 1689, and I haven't added to the timeline since. For me, I got too attached to some of the characters I wrote about, and I wanted them to stay alive forever, which is why I couldn't bring myself to write more. And if you play the game, you would know that there's currently a worldwide war going on. And I also know that if I had decided to continue writing, it would end. And just as World War II changed the world, this would put everything in the time of peace too, which would take the fun from some of my favorite characters. Next time, I'll begin explaining the world, the lore and history, and journal entries of many people around the world. So for now, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.